The top, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys being here. We got Red here as well. And we're just going to have some fun today. We're going to be reacting and commenting to my reviews from the past. And if you guys have any questions about them, feel free to ask. Also, let us know if any of the audio, if there's any audio issues, if I'm too low, if he's too low, if our lips are out of sync. We try to do some testing before all this, but it's not perfect, so let us know. And we're going to wait a couple more minutes to get started, but I just want to say again, thank you for coming here. And if you have any questions, let us know.
Yeah, I want to know what some of your guys' favorite reviews of his are. We might be able to watch them. Although, we're probably just going to be mostly watching, like, your first reviews, right, today?
Yeah. So the plan was, I wanted to make this a normal, like, weekly event where we react to my reviews from the past, starting with the first one and just continuing until we hit the present day, so to speak. But if there are any reviews that people are just really wanting us to react to, we might be able to jump ahead, but the goal is to watch all of them.
Lot Jansen, yeah, pretty much same for me. I haven't watched some of these reviews in years, so this is going to be a treat.
Okay, so we've got 12 of you in here. Appreciate it. No, 15. Awesome. And let's just get started.
Well, you should answer some of the questions first.
I guess. Are we doing any live streaming gaming challenge? We might do that later in the year. Right now, I just want to get this over with. Not that it's bad. I want this to be successful. So we're just going to do this first. Yeah, if you guys hear an echo, that's probably coming from Red, because he has his own microphone, but it's probably being picked up on mine as well. If it's too annoying, let us know, and we could probably just eliminate his, and we just have to kind of scoot in to this microphone as well. Okay, we got 16 in the chat right now, so I think we should just begin. First video of Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii, and I would just like to say, for the record, that the first videos, the first reviews of mine, I'd say up until maybe around review 30 or so, they are very amateurish, and to the point where some of them are just bad. The scripts, how I say things, the cadence. I'm just learning this, and thankfully I feel like I've gotten a lot better at it. But remember, this was also back in 2009, where YouTube was still kind of for people to upload their home videos. So it definitely has that home video feel to it. So, all right.
Very classic feeling.
All right.
But it's cool to see, like, it'll be cool to see, like, how far you've come now, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Let's get going.
Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii. No other game has sucked more hours out of my life than this masterpiece, and that's just what it is, a masterpiece. You start
And
out
of course
by
we
picking
have technical difficulties. No, I guess not. Okay, here we go.
character to fight as, and battle either the computer or your friends on a floating platform. If you fall off the platform, you lose a point, and the more damage you take, the easier it is to be knocked out. Every Smash fan knows you play this game for the multiplayer experience, but the single-player mode can be quite fun as well. There's Classic Mode, Event Matches, Target Practice, Home Run Contest, Multi-Man Brawl, Boss Battles, and even a very long Adventure Mode that actually has a great storyline, a good feature that its predecessor, Super Smash Bros. Melee, did not. And you can even play co-op in the Adventure Mode, which I enjoy. If you love to collect hidden items in your game, then you will not be disappointed with Brawl. There are tons of collectibles throughout this game, such as trophies, stickers, music tracks, stages, and characters. There's even a huge wall of challenges that you can have fun with by completing certain tasks. It took me forever to accomplish every task, but it was well worth it when I finally received my final sticker. Darn you, Gunship! Why did you elude me for so long? One noticeable great new feature was the ability to play online. Now you can...
That gunship, that was like what was it? It took like a long... It took like a long time for us to get that last sticker, right?
Oh man,
we had all of them except one for a long time, and then we finally got it after like a long time.
Well over a year. It took.
Oh yeah.
It took well over a year. I don't know how long, but I just remember the three of us were playing at like, I don't know, it was midnight or something, and our parents were asleep. And we were just playing, and all of a sudden we see a sticker come on the field, and we just think, okay, another sticker. But then after the match, it showed that we got the final sticker, and it was that gunship, and we just went crazy. And I remember I accidentally broke a plate.
That's right.
Yeah, because I think I was like, yes, and I slammed my hand down, and there was a plate next to it, and I broke the plate.
I remember that. Yeah.
But that took forever, and it's all RNG.
Yeah, totally random.
So it was really fun to finally get that.
Can kick anyone's butt around the world. One of the downsides of it, though, is if you want to play with a friend, you will have to enter in those wonderful friend codes. Hooray! And another not-so-pleasant fact about it is, if you have a poor internet connection, you will not find the online experience fun at all. Trust me, I live in the middle of nowhere, so the lag is guaranteed. But if you
just a random Google image
and you have a strong
photo
internet
of dial-up.
connection, playing online is awesome, I assume. Another cool feature was you could play in 4 different ways. You could play with the Wiimote and Nunchuck, the Wiimote alone, the classic controller, or the GameCube controller. Everyone has their own preference, but my choice is definitely the GameCube controller. And another cool feature was you could now build your own custom stages. Although you are limited in content, creating your own designs never gets old. One new addition that can't be overlooked is one of the new items in the game, and you probably already know what I'm talking about. Yep, that's right, the smoke ball. Wait, smoke ball? Who's writing this script? Sorry guys. The smash ball. This magnificent orb of power will pop on the screen at any random time, and it's your job to smash it open before anyone else does.
I hate this.
If you can do
I hate what you do here.
have fun destroying your opponents. Some
like,
final smashes are
I saw it coming the whole way. I was
unbelievably
like, I don't know why I didn't do
others
anything about it.
Just downright suck. Some characters have very similar, almost congruent final smashes.
And this one too.
Garfox.
I hate you.
Which I thought was a downside, since it just seems like the developers were just being lazy to come up with different
Like
final
I said,
smashes.
first review.
Some characters' movesets are similar too, but not as similar as compared to Melee. Now some people complain that the Smash Ball is too cheap, and that they won't even play the game because of it. Well, if you feel this way, just turn the Smash Ball off. That was so hard! Super Smash Bros. Brawl is an awesome game. I try to play it literally every day. Yeah, you might say, get a life.
Not anymore,
Whatever.
but back then, yeah.
This game is just that good. If you've played the original Smash Bros. And or Melee, and you like them, then you will absolutely love Brawl. This game gets a 4.75 out of 5 with the title of Epic.
Common sense.
That's right. It's beautiful. Well, I can definitely hear the difference between my reviews now and back then. My first review, I was very careful to articulate everything. I didn't want to slur the words.
That's good. Like most people starting out, they don't even know that's a thing you should do. They just kind of slur their speech and just kind of ramble on.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yep. The ending where I say, if you liked the past Smash games, you'll absolutely love Brawl. there were comments after in the years to come saying they don't like Brawl because it had tripping and it was a lot slower.
Yeah, you never even talked about it.
No, I really didn't go that much in depth in the game, but I had never really considered people's point of view of like, hey, maybe they don't like tripping. I mean, I don't like tripping, we don't like tripping, but I never really considered it a huge major flaw that it would make the game like unplayable, or you didn't want to play it because it had that.
Yeah.
So, but that was interesting.
When I first played the game, like, I immediately noticed that it felt a lot slower. But I didn't, at the time, I didn't see that as like a detriment to the game. It's just like, well, it just feels different.
Yeah. So we are watching this through OBS Studio, and I don't know why, but the comments weren't coming through. So I see there's more here. I want to answer some of your questions if you had them. The plate, yeah.
Yeah, rip the plate. Did we ever get in trouble with that from our parents?
I don't. If we did, I don't remember. Yeah, playing Brawl every day when I got it.
Yeah.
There is an economy term called utils, and a util is like a unit of measurement to describe how much enjoyment you get out of either using or consuming the thing. Okay, so when Brawl came out, I had almost infinite utils because I would ask them to play every single day that we had the game for, I don't know, a couple years at least, and then everything kind of changed when they went to boarding school. I went to university, and we couldn't do it anymore. But I remember Red would get especially annoyed, saying, I don't want to play Brawl again, because it's like the only thing we'd ever play. But it was a good game.
Yeah.
Hey, Joseph. Can't stay for long, but appreciate you coming to the stream anyway, for as long as you can. Thanks for everybody showing up. Says videos, gaming videos. So Red was still the first comment in the video. Yes, Red.
I don't even remember what the comment was.
I think you said like great video or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Red is my first comment and first person to comment on the reviews. I don't know if it counts, but still. Sonic and the Secret Rings review, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that one next.
Happy Guy 123. Why did I take a break from YouTube for so long? Well, if you're talking about the first hiatus for about a year and a half, it was because I was feeling burned out. And then the 3-year hiatus, just short and simple answer, I just didn't want to. But I'm back now, and I'm creating reviews. I'm doing the live stream, so I hope you guys are enjoying. So, yeah, Red's echoing in the background because he's being picked up on both microphones. If it's too annoying, let me know, and we'll try to switch things up. But if you guys can stand it, we're just going to leave it how it is.
I'll try to like lean back a little further from his mic, or maybe you can just like be in front of your mic more.
Like that?
Like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll try that.
So you're blocking.
Okay. All right, let's get to the next review. Sonic and the Secret Rings. A controversial review.
This was controversial.
It's time for the Sonic and the Secret Rings review for the Wii. Now, with my experience with Sega, or more specifically Sonic Team, I usually enjoy what they dish out to the public. Examples would be the classics like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles.
Okay.
And other 3D games like Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. Yes, I actually like Zero Gravity. But lately, it just seems like Sonic Team is just trying to dish out the Hedgehog left and right as fast as they can. Just look at this. Sega has given us 6 3D Sonic games in the last 4 years, with Nintendo Legend of Zelda 1.
Okay.
And before you start writing me hate
Disclaimer,
mail, these statistics
that's not a great
exclude any
thing to
handheld
compare.
Sonic or Zelda games. Just games that have been for the GameCube, PS2, Wii, Xbox 360, PS3, and PC that Sonic and or Zelda were the main focus. The story starts out with our hedgehog sleeping and being awoken by a genie that pops out of a huge ring. She tells him that her world is being destroyed by another genie and that you have to save it. So of course, Sonic goes with her. You'd think that just one time Sonic would not be interested and say, hey, unless there is some kind of a reward, you're on your own. But I guess Sonic has a heart of gold. The game plays on rails, which means the game will direct you on where you need to go in each level. You can't just explore the world around you. I wish that Sonic Team would have allowed this, because if it's one thing that Sega can do right, it's creating the visual. The graphics for the worlds are gorgeous. But because you are on rails, you can't explore them as much as you might like to. To control Sonic, you hold the Wiimote horizontally and tip either the right or left side to have Sonic move in either direction. These controls are okay, but the real icing on the cake is the infamous jumping controls. You have to jump a lot in this game, and with that said, you will get very, very frustrated a lot. You press the 2 button to jump, and hold it down to build up power for a bigger jump. And while in the air, you quickly push the Wiimote forward to do a dash, or homing attack when an enemy is in sight. The problem is Sonic's speed, because you will often over or undershoot your dashes and attacks, which will result with you dying. Sega must not test their games, since they just can't seem to understand the concept of good controls. Along the way, you'll meet familiar bodies of characters. Tails and Knuckles are not Tails and Knuckles, but just their bodies and, coincidentally, their voices. Their voices are being used for different characters. The voice acting is horrible.
Hey, Knuckles! How'd you get here? I am Sinbad of the Seven Seas, adventurer of adventurers.
Oh my god.
Who the heck are you?
Oh my god, that's
Sinbad,
terrible.
It truly is you, the great adventurer.
And it has been since Sonic Heroes.
I don't think that's
I want to know who
Oh,
wrote
that's
this
terrible.
script, because
I
I
hate it.
really doubt they understood the fact that Shara, your genie, is inside the ring you are wearing.
Ah, I'm getting dizzy.
Jump!
Okay. Hey, Sonic, wait.
See? Oh well. I guess Sega doesn't believe in good controls, voice acting, and script when it comes to Sonic games, since most of the newer ones are crap in all 3 categories. It's beyond me why Sega decided to replace Ryan Drummond with Jason
so.
Griffith as the voice of Sonic. As you complete each level, you will receive experience points to upgrade your ring, which will give you new attributes that will, sort of, make the game more enjoyable. There are also mini-games that you can play with up to 4 players. Why you would want to play these are beyond me. Some of the controls are even worse than the actual game. Seems like Sega was just trying to bring back Sonic Shuffle for the Dreamcast, which I actually liked. I know, it was a Mario Party ripoff, but that doesn't change the fact that I enjoyed the game. But with the Secret Rings minigames, both my
Here's
brother
their
and
debut.
sister agree.
Horrible. Awful.
Couldn't have
You
said it
start
better
crying.
myself. Sonic and the Secret Rings is a game only for those who just need their Sonic fix. For others, I don't recommend it. If not for the fact that the game was $20 and that the visuals are breathtaking, I would have given this game a lower score. But because of those 2 facts, this game gets a 2.25 with a title of bad.
Easy.
LOL, so funny!
Yeah, that the jumping controls kind of like they're so weird to me because in pretty much every other Sonic game, you just like as soon as you press down the button, you immediately jump, and how high you jump is like how long you hold it after you've already jumped. But like it's backwards in this game, and what was the point in like changing it like that?
I don't know. They were just trying to come up with something with the motion controls.
Yeah. Also, one thing that you said in that review that like nowadays I think is just I don't know why you said it was when you said like I want to like slow down and explore and like look at the but that's not how you play the Sonic game.
I understand, and I was thinking of that when we were just watching it. That's faulting for the game for like what it is, and not what it isn't.
Yeah.
And that was a mistake. But I mean, all the previous Sonic games were like that. and I wanted that, and we got an on-rail Sonic, and I was just like, what the heck is this? I hate this.
Yeah, the on rails, it does feel like a lot more restricting, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's probably what like your main
Yeah,
criticism was.
I didn't like it because it was something I've never seen before in a Sonic game, but I can't fault it for that. So some of your questions or comments. They really like your debut, Mr. Toad the Gamer. Wait, that was crying? I thought Red was fixing his glasses.
Yeah, that was supposed to be like fake crying.
Yeah, like
oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's like emotionally taxing on me.
Yeah. What's up, Walk Up? I think I said your name right this time. I always said Wakupe, but it's Walk Up.
Yeah, and then our sister just like fake suicide with a gun. Like what the heck? What?
It's
I
supposed
don't
to
understand what the point of that.
It's supposed to be your reaction to the mini games are so over the top.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
Yeah, I'm so young back then. I must have been like 13 at the time.
2009?
2009. Yeah, I was either like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Such a baby.
Well, that means Espeon was like 10 or 11.
No, she's only like a year and a half younger than me. So she would have been like 11 or 12.
Oh, okay.
Horrible. Awful. That live scene, I don't think it's one of her best, but some of the live scenes in these early reviews still hold up, I think.
Some of them, yes.
Yeah. We'll see them as we go. But yeah.
There's one in particular that is just, I wish I could take it back.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it.
All right, Mario Galaxy.
It's time for the Super Mario Galaxy review. Woohoo! Super Mario Galaxy was the first real Mario game for the Wii. The first actually was Mario Party 8, but that doesn't really count. You start out as Mario heading toward Princess Peach's castle. When he arrives, Bowser flies down in his flying pirate ships and kidnaps Princess Peach.
Okay, I need to pause that.
I know you've probably heard others say this before, but
okay.
Did you not?
No.
Mario 3.
I know. I understand he has flying pirate ships. I think at the time I was writing it, it was like, it just seems so weird and odd that even though I know in Mario 3 he had that, having flying pirate ships just seems like an odd choice of transportation. So I think that's what I was going for.
What did you think, like, he should have been?
I don't know. I just
That's so
I
weird.
think I always found it odd, like flying pirate ships, because he doesn't have the persona of a pirate, even though he kidnaps Peach.
Oh yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever like thought about that part in your script and thought, why did you write that?
Yeah. I had a point, but I didn't explain it. And I know it comes off as...
it comes off as like, guys, can you believe this? Like this is so weird. I don't even have to explain why it's so weird.
Right. But anyway.
Man, that didn't age very well.
No, it did not. Come on.
I get to say my 2 cents as well. You'd think Peach would hire a bodyguard, or take karate lessons, or even just carry a gun around with her. Well, okay, not a gun. It's an E for everyone game. But still,
Man, that
why
sounds
does
like
Bowser
it's
even
exactly
care
what
about
my
Peach?
game can
Is she
do.
like the only girl he's ever seen? He's got Kammy Koopa. Gross. And where the hell did Bowser get all his resources to build his flying ships of doom? How did he even know how to build them? Ugh, I need to lay down.
Oh my god. This is like mid-aught peak comedy for
This
YouTube.
is exactly
Back to the
like
game.
Asian
Bowser
comedy without
somehow
swearing.
summons a spaceship which extracts Princess Peach's castle right up from the ground. As Bowser escapes to outer space with Peach, Mario gets launched into the Sea of Stars as well, and ends up on a strange little planet where he meets the luscious Rosalina. Mario must be really dedicated to Peach, because if I was him, I think I'd just stay with Rosalina. Rosalina's ship is stuck out in the middle of nowhere, kind of like where I live, and most of the power is out. She tells him that in order to save your special one, you will have to help her by powering up her space station. To do this, you will have to go out to different planets and find the Grand Stars. Here's where the game gets fun. The planets are not just boring spheres of mass, but small, wacky, minion-infested globs of mass. Rosalina's background, if you care to look it up, is in a book which pretty much tells you about how she got to where she is today. It's actually a pretty depressing story, but I won't go into it for those who haven't played it yet. Once you complete all the planets in the galaxy, you will then move on to a different galaxy in the same solar system?
Yeah.
Whatever. Until you reach the boss galaxy, and once you defeat the boss, you will then receive your Grand Star.
I think Super Mario Solar System doesn't sound as catchy. And it's not even solar system. That would imply there's a star in the middle.
Which will power up Rosalina's ship and light up different
Really
areas of the ship,
precise.
in which there are different galaxies you can complete. There are also upgrades that Mario can acquire. There's the Bee Suit, which will allow Mario to hover for a bit, the Fire Flower, which will let Mario launch fireballs at enemies and objects, the Ice Flower, which will turn Mario completely into ice and lets him walk on
That
water.
one is so fun.
A Boo Suit, which will turn Mario into a boo, which then he can pass through gates and bars. A Spring Suit, it doesn't really control the best, but it's a suit. It can launch Mario high up into the air. The Invincibility Star, called the Rainbow Star, which, well, duh, makes you invincible for a bit. And the best but the least placed suit in the game, the Red Star. This awesome star will let you fly freely anywhere for a while. Least placed means it is only available in the most bogus areas of the game, so you will rarely get to use this great star. As you run through each level, you will encounter tons of star bits, Lumas, which are the float.
Yeah, I think they should have made like a couple levels that are like designed around that, where like it's like an obstacle course you have to like fly through. That could have been fun.
Maybe they didn't want to possibly get into a Superman 64 kind of thing.
Well, I doubt that. They're good level designers.
Yeah.
I think they could have designed a good level around that suit.
Yeah.
Floating stars that help you through your quests will eat them. If you can feed them enough star bits, they will usually turn into a warp or sling star, which can launch you onto a different path. The controls are great. To control Mario, you move him around with the joystick on the nunchuck, and press A to jump with the Wiimote. To spin, which in the air is more like a double jump, you quickly jerk the Wiimote. That's basically it. And also you can point the Wiimote to the screen to pick up star bits. This can come in handy when you can't get to them easily. It's also nice when you have someone with you, as they too can point their own Wiimote at the screen to pick up star bits for you. Hooray for teamwork!
There it is, the first one.
The camera is almost perfect. There were just a handful of levels where the camera was evil and made me die frequently. There was one part of one level in particular where there was almost no depth perception. I died at least 20 times because of the bad camera angle. But 98% of the time throughout the game, the camera was great. The graphics are breathtaking, even for the Wii. The game still has that cartoony look to it, but Nintendo went all out to make it look stunning, and the music score is beautiful.
This goes on for too long.
But
This
it is a
game
good.
truly is
It
a
is.
work
It's
of
a really
art.
good song.
Yeah.
There are 120 stars in the game, and if you can capture them all, you'll get a special prize! Actually, I felt like Super Mario Sunshine lasted longer than Galaxy, even though Sunshine also had 120 stars, or sprites as they are called. This game is amazing, and I was actually skeptical at playing it in the beginning. I say this because of all the crazy gravity changes around you. The camera could have been your worst enemy. But fortunately, Nintendo does not let this happen. I think they realize that Mario is their mascot, and when you create games that promote your company through your mascot, you want those games to be great.
That's a good joke.
Super Mario Galaxy! Sorry, I had to do that. It's a fantastic game. It's easy to pick up and play for beginners, yet challenging for Mario veterans. I would definitely recommend this game to anyone. This game is great fun, challenging, and has that certain Mario charm that we all love. This game gets a 4.5 with the title of Epic.
I said 4.5, not 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Whole review is ruined because of that.
It's ruined. Delete my channel. Delete YouTube entirely. So I wanted to say...
I think that's, so far, it's your best review yet.
Oh, okay.
I think it's really good.
Oh, thank you. The microphone issue, when I first started out, I had this tiny little lav mic that had, the end of it was a 3.5 millimeter jack, and this was like just a small little $5 mic that I think it was my dad's at one point, but he never used it, so I used it, and you can definitely hear the audio quality shift throughout the review, and actually I use it up until I think my F-Zero review, and that's when I upgraded to something like this. But yeah, so I apologize for the narration audio quality, but that's just all I had to work with back then.
Yeah, 4.5 out of 100.
Yeah.
At least you had it on text, you know.
Yeah. I think I feel like I did that with Secret Rings as well, but I can't remember.
Vidi, what pun are you talking about? You said, did that pun suit this stream? Or wait, because it's a suit, like a power-up suit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. I like that.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, we got 28 of you guys in here. I appreciate you guys coming out. Hopefully you are enjoying this. If you guys do like this, and I think you do, we'll try to make this a regular thing. I don't want to say weekly because weekends are never set in stone, but if you guys do like this, we'll continue to do this until we get to present day review.
How many videos were you planning for today?
Around 10 maybe. Depends on if we want to go longer or not.
Do you have do you personally have like a set of videos that you consider like this is season 1, this is season 2?
Oh, I've thought about that. I've never sat down and done that. Because I don't know yet what I would define as a season. But
maybe just like a year, because that's when you have your
no,
like top 10 videos.
No, because that would mean years 3 through like 9 are terrible.
Oh.
I think it has to be a set amount of reviews. Okay, so let's go on to Sonic Unleashed.
Or wait, there was one more. It was about the Sonic and Secret Rings. When you said that, when you compared how like mainline Sonic games had like 6 games in a certain amount of time, and Zelda only had 1. I honestly think that is kind of a good point, because it shows that like Nintendo really cares about like quality over quantity.
Yeah. That's kind of what the point I was trying to make, but I remember getting the comment years ago saying that's a terrible comparison because they're 2 different companies and 2 different styles of games. And there is some merit to that, but what he just said is the point. Quality over quantity.
Yeah, because there's like a lot of other franchises that are like that. I mean, like Pokemon, they have a game like pretty much every year, and nowadays they're like kind of starting to dip in quality a lot. Meanwhile, there are series that just have like very few games, like From Software games.
Mm-hmm.
Those come out pretty infrequently, and they're super good.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Sonic.
I think there's validity in that point.
Okay, thank you. Sonic Unleashed. Here we go.
It's time for the Sonic Unleashed review for the Wii. Oh, finally! Finally! I've been waiting for Sonic Team to create a decent 3D Sonic game for the past 7 years! Okay, maybe 4 years. But SA2 was way better.
Oh yeah.
The story starts out with a bang! Dr. Robotnik is hovering above the Earth's atmosphere with a massive fleet of doom ships! Where has he been hiding these things?
Hold on.
Oh well.
I've got to
Anyway, in the
pause
middle
there.
of-
I channeled my inner Zim to say that
really?
line. The massive fleet of doom ships. My Invader Zim self was saying that.
his diabolical laugh, Sonic somehow lands on top of one of his ships and makes his way towards Eggman. I just have to pause and say, the cinematics are spectacular! Look at this! Who says the Wii sucks when it comes to graphics?
Okay,
I said it once,
okay,
I'll
okay.
say-
I want
That's a
to.
free render
I know.
cutscene.
I did not know that at the time. I didn't
Oh, really?
understand that at the time. So I completely redact that statement. But at the same time, it is really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool to see these cutscenes because the games before, you could see a progression in Sonic Heroes. They started doing those pre-rendered cutscenes, and those look kind of cool at the same time. But then when you got to Sonic Riders, they looked even better.
Yeah.
And then as it went on further and further, and then this game this kind of blew our minds.
It was crazy. Especially coming from SA1 and SA2, they used the in-game engine for the cutscenes, which SA1 looks terrible. It just does. Especially the facial animations. SA2 was better, but it's still, you can definitely tell it was in-game engine versus pre-rendered.
Say it again. Sega really knows how to create the visuals. As the video plays through, Sonic transforms into Super Sonic and flies after Eggman. Just when it looks like Sonic has the upper hand, Eggman traps him in a force field type thing and drains Sonic of his powers. Eggman then points a huge gun at the Earth and fires, which... Oh, hold on. Look at that. Awesome. Which splits the planet into separate pieces, and a huge monster called Dark Gaia comes out of the core. Makes perfect sense. After that, Sonic is now morphed into a werehog. Don't ask. Eggman opens a window in his ship, which sucks Sonic out and falls towards the Earth. Somehow he survives, and meets a thing with wings. The thing has amnesia, so Sonic decides to call him Chip for the time being. Chip agrees and decides to tag along with Sonic. Sonic and Chip meet up with Tails, who tells them that they need to go see Professor Pickle. Pickle? What's up with all these food names? Eggman, Chip, Cream, Cheese, Pickle? Ugh. Anyway, he tells Sonic that the planet has broken up into sections and that only the power of the Chaos Emeralds will restore them. So now Sonic starts out on his journey. As usual, the graphics are amazing. And get this, Sonic Team actually made the controls decent. Now what I've heard and read about the 360s and the PS3 controls, they weren't decent. In fact, they were bad. But I can't say anything since I've never tried them. But with the Wii, they worked pretty well. The game plays with the Wiimote and Nunchuck combo, but you can also use the classic controller or the GameCube controller. I found the GameCube controller, like Brawl, to work the best. The game is split up into daytime and nighttime levels. The daytime levels were by far the better of the two. Excellent sense of speed, good controls, fun, interesting levels, and of course, the Sonic Boost. The Sonic Boost is a great feature in the game. It was sort of featured in Sonic and the Secret Rings, but Sonic Team made it better. Sonic has a gauge bar, and he needs just one full bar to pull off his super speed. Just collect enough rings to fill up the gauge. Oh, I almost forgot, the game does not play on rails. This was one of my favorite things about the game. If it had been, I would have had to write a very nasty letter to Sega. But fortunately, I get to save the ink in my pen. The day stages play great. Along with a third-person 3D look, the game will often split into Sonic's classic 2D side-scroller, but still keep that 3D feel. And hey, it works wonderfully. And now, on to the night levels. After all the nice things I just said about the game, there are still some problems with it as well. And actually, about half the game is a problem. The night levels just don't do Sonic any justice. I don't know why Sega feels like they have to promote Sonic with new unique ways of playing him, because they just don't work. The night stages are a perfect example of this. The number one thing wrong with the night stages? There's no speed! I thought Sonic games were about speed. Wasn't that the main reason he was so popular back on the Genesis? How could Sega have forgotten so fast their basic principle for Sonic games? The day levels are awesome because of the sense of speed.
Okay.
In the night levels, Sonic...
This goes back to Secret Rings, and I wish I could redo this. I'm hating on the game for what it is, not what it isn't. Or excuse me, I'm hating on
Reverse that.
I'm hating on it for what it isn't, not what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like I can stand by what I said somewhat, but if I could go back, I would have changed the script up some.
Yeah, the nighttime levels, they're not bad because they're slow. They're just bad because they're bad.
They're boring.
There's a lot of other different reasons why they're bad.
Yeah.
Sonic turns into a werehog. As I just said, he loses his signature speed, but gains strength. I thought they already had a character for strength. He also gains the ability to stretch his arms really far. It sounds cool, but it's really not. The night levels get boring really fast. The fighting gets dull after a while, and the joystick was ultra sensitive. Sometimes I would barely push up on the joystick, and Sonic would start running full blast. Well, as fast as he could, but it was enough to make me die frequently. There were also more nighttime levels than daytime. I wish Sonic Team had reversed this, since the daytime stages were just so much better. Also for the night stages, you can gain experience, just like in Secret Rings, which will gain you new attacks, more health, and a bigger bar for Unleashed mode, where Sonic becomes much stronger for a limited amount of time. One new thing that caught my ear was the music score. In usual 3D Sonic games, Crush 40 does the soundtrack. Not in Unleashed though, the music is more like Super Mario Galaxy. I'm on the fence with this one, since the new different style of music is great, but I'm just not sure if it fits Sonic's theme. The only levels where the music sounded like Crush 40 were the ice levels in the daytime. I've heard some rumors, but I'm just not too sure why with the Wii's version of Unleashed, there is one piece of the planet that you really don't get to play. You just get to fight the boss, and that's it. Bogus! That was the one level I really wanted to play when I first saw it from the trailer. It's available on the 360 and PS3 versions, but I don't own either, so I'm out of luck.
Yeah,
There are also bonuses you can collect throughout the game, like drawings, movie clips, etc. Nothing really too exciting, but it's fun to collect. Sonic Unleashed is a great game. The nighttime levels aren't the best, but the daytime levels make up for them. Barely. I bought this game for $50, and now that it's down to $30 for the Wii and PS2 versions, I kinda really wish I had waited. This game is definitely worth $30, but $50? That's a stretch. This game has potential for future Sonic games, so let's hope Sonic Team can deliver the goods. This game gets a 3.75 out of 5 with the title of Awesome.
Sweet!
That's what I'll say about the review. I thought it was I noticed that, and this will
go to the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I noticed that like beginning in the last review and going forward for like the next 50 or so, or maybe not 50, but maybe like 20 or 30, I talk about the story way too much, to the point where I am teetering on spoiling. And some of the reviews I actually did spoil, and I just didn't
really?
see it at the time. But like for Sonic Unleashed, I'd say a good minute and a half of me explaining the story could have just been omitted, because it wasn't relevant to the review. But again, I'm still learning my reviewing style, and I did not want to become like the quote-unquote professionals, where they just seem almost disinterested in the game. I wanted to put my own like charm in it, if you will. I wanted to make my own. So I didn't want to be a professional reviewer, but I didn't want to...
You didn't want to make it seem like very corporate.
Didn't want to seem corporate.
Like an IGN review.
Yeah, I didn't want to seem corporate, so I kind of leaned heavily more on the...
It's like a friend telling you about it.
Yeah, I'm talking about a friend, to a friend. So finding that middle ground takes time. So let's see. Night levels look boring. Overall they are. There's a few hints of enjoyment out of them, but I think that's what I was trying to explain with why I didn't like the night levels, and I didn't articulate it enough. It's just that I'm playing a Sonic game. I want to go fast. I don't want... If you're going to give me these night levels, at least let me play a different character. Those would have been perfect for, like, Knuckles.
Yeah, this is like a mainline Sonic game. Like, it's so strange that they, like, experiment with, like, this completely different, like, beat-em-up style gameplay style. And that takes up maybe, like, 2/3 of the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
It's really strange.
Yep. Have I ever played the Xbox 360 version? That's the best version of the game, in my opinion, and the nighttime levels in that version are also a lot more fun than the Wii. I have not. I'll just take your word for it, but saying that the nighttime levels are actually good. You know, forget Sonic. Just what makes the night levels night levels? They're kind of boring. Mm-hmm. They're stagnant.
The music is also kind of annoying because whenever you get into like a fighting arena, that music score starts up with that like sting, you know, that beginning sting, the big band jazz. It happens like every time you get into an enemy encounter. It's kind of annoying after a while.
Okay, let's get on with the next one. Super Paper Mario. Okay, I know I just said I talk about the story too much. This video is a perfect example. I mean, it's a little less than 6 minutes long, but I feel like half of it is me explaining the story, and I wish I could go back and redo that.
From what I remember, I do really like the live scene in this one.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh, it's my debut.
It's kind of corny, but I don't know. I still like it.
Oh, I should have been eating corn, not a sandwich.
It's so corny.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
It's time to review Super Paper Mario for the Wii. Super Paper Mario is the third installment in the Paper Mario saga. Well, actually, it's not really a saga, since none of the three stories are related to each other. The story starts out before you even get to the title screen. We see a bunch of Koopas, Goombas, Paratroopas, and... what's this? Bowser and Peach at the altar? Yep, it's true. And with them is a mystery character named Count Bleck, who likes to speak in the third person. What the heck? Count Bleck? It's like the developers were on their lunch break, and after one of them obliviously bites into his rotten sandwich, he yells out his name.
The old house.
So have you thought of the name for the bad guy yet?
No, I just can't think of anything.
Oh, blah!
I got it.
Right after Peach is forced to say I do, a black heart called the Chaos Heart comes out of the altar. Just then, Luigi comes up the steps and tries to be the hero, but fails. Sorry, Squeegee, but the game is called Super Paper Mario, not Luigi. After Luigi's failed attempt at a rescue, Count Bleck uses the Chaos Heart for his plan to destroy all worlds. Now, at the real beginning of the game, we see Mario and Luigi sitting in their house just relaxing. They get bored, so they decide to go to Princess Peach's castle. As they go outside, Toad meets them and tells them that Princess Peach has been stolen. Big surprise! Does Peach ever just have a normal day? And for heaven's sake, she's a princess! Therefore, she's royalty. Wouldn't you expect royalty to have the tightest security up to date?
This is like the same...
Well...
Oh, okay.
Then again, when you have 2-foot-tall security guards, I guess it would be easy to take over. Peach should just ask Mario to live in her castle and become head of security. Yeah, that's the ticket. Mario and Luigi suspect Bowser is the culprit and decide to go to his castle to rescue her. At Bowser's castle, we learn that Bowser was going to go attack Peach's castle again, but he was too late. Just then, Peach appears above them calling out for rescue. Count Bleck appears out of nowhere as well and tells everyone that he was the one who stole Peach.
See,
Mario tries to attack him, but to no avail.
It's too much.
Even Bowser tells him to let her go. Count Bleck then opens up a void which sucks everyone, except Mario, into it. It doesn't show where Count Bleck took everyone, but if you didn't skip the very beginning, you should have seen it. Mario wakes up and meets a creature called a Pixel, whose name is Tippy.
Wow.
Tippy wants to help Mario, and Mario welcomes him.
Man, this is
Tippy
terrible.
transports Mario to a town called Flipside, where they meet Merlon, who is the head elder of the town. He tells them that there is a void up in the sky and that it will destroy all worlds if Mario doesn't retrieve all 7 pure hearts to stop Bleck and the Chaos Heart. So now your journey
Oh my
begins.
gosh.
Super Paper
That was-
Mario is
how long
quite
was that?
different
That
than
was-
the other two pre.
Almost 3 minutes.
It was about 2.5 minutes, not counting the intro or whatever. 2.5 minutes, just talking about the story, and it could have easily been 30 seconds
it's
max.
Not even the story. It's just like it's just a summary of like everything that happens in only the intro.
Yeah, I remember watching this a few years ago and being like, why did I talk about this so much? And I think it was because I thought it was the job of the reviewer to explain the plot. But, you know, however many reviews later, I realized, no, it's not. I'm supposed to talk about, like, the technical side and how much enjoyment I get out of it. I'm not here to tell a story.
Prequels, and you will notice this as you walk around the town. The style of the game is a pure 2D side-scroller instead of a 3D game with a 2D feel like in Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door. The artwork is different as well. It's not better or worse, it's just different. And the battle system has been changed up as well. Instead of a turn-based RPG, it is now a real-time RPG. I have to say, I did not like this change. I loved the turn-based style of the previous two games. Don't get me wrong, I love both styles of RPGs, but I prefer turn-based for the Paper Mario series. In the first level, Mario will gain the ability to flip from his 2D environment to a 3D view. In this mode, the game looks like it did with the previous Paper Mario games. While in 3D, Mario can find hidden secrets and new paths. But you have to be careful, because you can only be in 3D for a limited amount of time, until you start to take damage. As you go through each level, you will meet up with new pixels who will give you special abilities to help you on your quest. Some of them are quite helpful, and you will use them a lot, while with others, you'll hardly use them at all. The graphics are simple, yet colorful. They're nowhere near as good as Super Mario Galaxy, but then again, they weren't meant to either.
Okay.
The controls are simple as well. You hold the Wiimote like a real controller
I think it's
and
because-
use the
I think it's
directional pad
because
and buttons to
it's
control
a Mario game.
Sometimes you will use the motion sensors and the accelerometer in the Wiimote, but not too frequently. I also liked how they kept the breaking the fourth wall humor, as they did in Thousand Year Door.
I remember I got some comments on this asking, what do you mean breaking the fourth wall? And I assumed everybody knew what that meant. I like the mustache.
There
Yeah,
are
the
only
writing
a
in this
few
game is
things
really
with the
good.
game that I didn't care for. One of them was actually one of the main new features of the game, flipping from 2D to 3D. This got very annoying sometimes because you couldn't stay in 3D for very long, unless you wanted to take damage. Also in 3D, there was very little depth perception when fighting enemies. I would usually have to flip back to 2D to hit them. I've already said this, but I didn't like the fact that Nintendo decided to change the battle system to a real-time RPG. I just didn't find it as fun as I did back when I played the former two Paper Mario games. There is one good quality about this way of fighting though. It was much easier and faster to complete the levels, since killing your enemies usually only took a couple seconds rather than a couple minutes. Super Paper Mario is a great game. For those of you who have played the first two Paper Mario games, like me, you may not enjoy it as much as the first two, but then again you might. For those of you who like real-time RPGs, you will really like this game. All in all, this game is definitely worth the money. This game gets a 4.25 out of 5 with the title of Awesome.
I just cringing at myself because the last paragraph, I said the phrase "this game" like so many times. Every single sentence, I had that phrase, and it was just an example of being an amateur.
Go to the chat. It doesn't really.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why it doesn't
Okay.
do that.
There we go.
So young back then, yep. Oh, the line "That's the ticket," that was from I think an SNL skit with John Lovitz, and he was like a detective or a cop, and his punchline was, "Yeah, that's the ticket," kind of in a New York or Bronx kind of accent. I can't do it, but I thought that was really funny when I saw it, so I put it into the script.
I didn't even know that was a reference. To
Yeah.
Well, it worked for, like, even I didn't understand the reference, or I didn't know it was a reference, but it was still funny because it's just like, yeah, Mario with the gun, that's the ticket, yeah, let's go. It's kind of weird that almost kind of retreaded the same joke at the beginning in that review, like, oh, Peach is always getting captured. Why doesn't she get like better security? But you kind of saved it by saying, oh well, her security is just these little toad people. Like, of course. So, I don't know. At first, I thought it was kind of lame that you.
Oh, thanks.
But you kind of saved it with like, you went more in depth with the joke.
Okay, now I have to ask you. When we were younger and we were doing these, when I would write the script, I would read it to both of you guys to see what you thought.
Yeah.
Did you have the same analysis back then that you have now?
Of that.
Of that particular thing you said?
Well, no.
See, I don't think so because you were a lot younger and didn't know.
Oh, for like you talking about like the story for 2.5 minutes?
No, what you were saying, the joke.
Oh, no, I just thought of that now. But I will say, you like ranting about like the story in Mario games where, oh, why is Peach always getting captured, blah blah blah. It's kind of trite now because like why are you complaining about this? But at the same time, I kind of like it because it reminds me of AVGN, like how he would just like rant about the stories in these old games, where you're not even supposed to
question it.
Yeah, you're not even supposed to think about the story. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me.
I was not trying to imitate AVGN because at the time I had never even heard of him.
Really?
Or
wait, I thought the whole reason you started these reviews was because you were inspired by it.
No, not AVGN. No. It was Wii Viewer and Screw Attack.
Oh.
When they were still Screw Attack.
Okay. Well, I think Wii Viewer was inspired by AVGN. So.
Oh, well, okay,
yeah.
fine. But no, I did not know about AVGN until much, much later.
Let's read some of the comments. Originally, I greatly disliked this game because I wanted it to be more like first two games. It took a Let's Play from someone I will not name for me to gain new appreciation for it. Yeah, this game, for me, I really like it, but the first two Paper Mario games are like way better. But for what it is, it's still pretty good. And the story is probably the best in any of the Paper Mario games.
Really?
Yeah. The whole story between like Tibby and Count Black is like, it's kind of heartfelt, I think.
Oh, okay.
And like all this I mean, I guess I'm gonna spoil a game from 2007, but like the whole what's his name is like Mysterio or something. How he's like planning his own secret spot like in the background. I forget his name. It's like the final boss of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the story was like pretty good.
Okay. Slim Knave, I think I said your name right. Is Inception still your favorite movie all these years? It's probably one of, but I actually haven't seen it in quite a while. Red and I actually just finally saw Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which was really good. I will say it was probably the most confusing Mission Impossible movie when you first watch it. All the others, you can follow it pretty well. This one, there was just a lot happening, a lot of characters, and I think I need to watch it again to really get the full story. But it was really good. I can't wait for the second one. Let's see.
Yeah, at least Super Paper Mario is better than Sticker Star and Color Splash for sure.
I have not played those because I've heard horrendous things.
Yeah, I have played Sticker Star up until the final boss, and then I just quit it because it was completely bogus. And then I've seen part of a Let's Play of Color Splash, and like, no, it doesn't look very good.
Nick Ray, Super Paper Mario is such a bore fest, honestly, compared to Thousand Year Door. Well, compared to Thousand Year Door,
Yeah,
I don't.
It's definitely not as good.
I don't want to call it a bore fest. It was still fun to play, but Thousand Year Door, I mean, that's the best one in the series.
It's one of the best games ever made. Like, you're comparing a decent game to like one of the best games ever. Then yeah, of course it's not going to be very good.
Okay. All right, let's get on with Mario Kart Wii.
It's
I
time
hardly
for the
remember
Mario
this
Kart
video.
Wii
You don't remember this?
review
I
for the Wii.
I can't think of any
Duh.
like interesting things that happened.
I am a huge Mario Kart fan. I loved all the previous Mario Kart games back on the SNES, 64, Game Boy, GameCube, DS. But does this version of the game keep my love and interest? Of course it does! This has to be my favorite version. If you've never played a Mario Kart game, what is wrong with you? Sorry.
To an extent,
then you're
it's
missing
still one
out.
of my favorites.
Mario Kart is a racing game on go-karts, but with Mario characters. This version of Mario Kart has the largest roster of characters you can choose from.
That's pretty small
you can
compared
even
to
select
today.
your own Mii as well. Although, if you do pick your Mii, it'll sound like it's drunk. This game does not disappoint when it comes to
Yeah,
race
what's so
tracks.
funny with
There are
this game?
32 tracks total, 16 being brand new and 16 coming from previous titles. Although, if I was in charge, I would have had 24 new tracks and 8 retro, because I would much rather have new stages to race on than older ones. But that's just me. The new tracks have the craziest designs, from falling down a waterfall to jumping off of giant mushrooms. These new tracks are the best I've ever played. The 16 retro tracks are fun as well, and I think Nintendo did a great job of selecting which 16 to put into this game. There are two major differences with Mario Kart Wii that the previous Mario Kart games lack. With Mario Kart Wii, you can now play with up to 11 other players, 12 including yourself, instead of the traditional 8. For me, this makes the game much more enjoyable because of the bigger challenge. The other difference in the game
This is such a good
now,
level.
instead of just go-karts, you can race with dirt bikes and or motorcycles. Now, some people don't care for this feature, since the game is called Mario Kart. But I love this new
Oh my
addition.
God, who
I don't
cares?
think it disrupts
Yeah.
the style of Mario Kart. I think it makes it better. There is no story or plot to this game, or any other Mario Kart games. It's just a straight-up racer. You start out by choosing your rule set, then your character, then your cart or bike, then your transmission, which I have to say is a nice new feature, then the stage. That's it,
don't explain
and
what
it
the
works.
transmission is.
There doesn't need to be a storyline when it comes to Mario Kart. The controls are simple and easy. The game comes bundled with the Wii wheel. All this is a plastic shell that you insert your Wiimote into, and it becomes a steering wheel. This works surprisingly well. The sensors are just right, not too oversensitive nor under.
Man,
You can also play with the GameCube
I'm sorry, I have
controller,
to pause for a
classic
second.
controller, or the
The building I recorded that in was actually a school, and it wasn't a school
Oh.
it wasn't a school I went to. It was actually your school.
Yeah.
And
'Cause our dad's a teacher.
yeah, our dad's teacher. That was his classroom, and this was during this. Yeah, it was during the summer, so it was empty, of course. But I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, oh my god, the lighting is terrible. There's no color correction. There's nothing, and it just looked terrible.
Wiimote with nunchuck. I actually have to say, I've never tried the game with these 3 different controllers, since using the Wii wheel just works perfectly for me. I assume the GameCube and classic controller would work well too, while with the Wiimote nunchuck combo, I don't know. It's 50-50. Maybe I should just give it a try.
I was so young. I was 20, I think, 19 or 20 there.
I like the GameCube, but Double Dash was better for this.
Oh, the
Oh, and also on the bike, you can't like lift up to do a wheelie.
Look
like
how
you can with the Wiimote.
everything is so blue.
Yeah.
Well, back then I had no options for color correcting.
To use your item, you gotta press the L button. That's just weird. No, I do not like
I
that.
can barely even hear myself.
Huh. It's a lot better than I expected it to be. The Wii wheel is a lot better. Actually, you don't.
Oh yeah, you're holding the camera. You're like scrunched
No,
right next to the TV like this.
What am I trying to say? This is my second choice. So, yeah. The graphics are what you
I will say that live scene right there, the original was way longer than what you see here. Originally, each control scheme that I tried, it was like 20 to 30 seconds of me just playing and you watching me play without actually seeing what I'm playing. And I remember I completed the whole video and I showed it to you guys and I showed it to Mom, and she was like, "You need to cut that down.
Yeah.
That's not good." I was like, "Really?" Because for me, I was like, you're watching me experience the control scheme, but you really just need my opinion on it. You don't need to be experience my opinion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that section was edited. Well, I mean, besides the audio, which is barely audible.
Oh yeah.
I think it's edited very, very cleanly.
Yeah.
It's very succinct.
The audio, these first live scenes that we're doing, they're all on a point and shoot camera that was our mom's and was bright pink. And I mean, it was
Like
just a simple little like Kodak or something.
Just a simple digital camera that you usually just take pictures with.
Point and shoot.
Yeah.
So it had an onboard mic, but you can definitely tell it's not great.
Expect a Mario game to be colorful and cartoony. In addition to standard racing, you can also do time trial, which is racing yourself or others to see who can receive the fastest time. There's also the battle option, and there are 2 different modes you can play. There's balloon battle, where you and your team have to hit your opponents with items to make them lose their balloons to receive points. Whichever team has the most points in the end loses. Ha! You thought I was gonna say win. Well, they do win, but I said lose when you thought I was gonna say... Okay, I'll just stop. And the other mode is coin runners, where you and your team have to grab as many coins before the time runs out. And of course, whichever team has the most coins in the end wins.
That type of humor
There were 2 things I
doesn't
didn't
really
like
work
about
for
battle
today,
mode with Mario Kart
but
Wii.
back in the mid to
One
late
was that
aughts,
now
that was
the matches were
the
timed.
norm.
Wow, what a mistake, Nintendo. Battle mode is just not as fun as it used to be. And 2, they didn't put in the Bomb Bomb battle mode from Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube. That mode had to be the most fun battle mode ever. Why didn't they put it in? What a boneheaded move.
Wow,
A great new feature in Mario Kart
angry.
Wii
I was
was
so
the
angry.
ability to race
Yeah,
online.
Bomb.
Actually, Mario
Bomb
Kart
Blast
DS was the
was
first
really
Mario Kart to use online capabilities. But racing on a big TV screen beats the little 2 DS screens any day. You don't need friend codes to play, and it is very easy to find a match. Even if you have a poor internet connection, like me, you will probably be able to find opponents and race or battle them with very little to no lag at all. Mario Kart Wii is an amazing game. With numerous new additions and features, this has to be the best Mario Kart game ever. Anybody who has played the previous Mario Kart games will not be disappointed. This game gets a 4.25 out of 5 with the title of Awesome.
Oh, Dragon Ball, that's right.
Isn't there a live scene in this?
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
No, I don't think so.
I've gone back and played Mario Kart Wii with the GameCube controller, and it plays just fine.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Young Frequency, yep.
Was that the first time you showed your face in a review?
No, Super Paper Mario.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. What do your parents think of your reviews generally?
They thought it was really cool on when I would update them on how many subscribers I had. Especially my dad, because I think they saw it originally just as another hobby that I like to do. I think they liked that I was doing something creative. If I'm going to play video games all day, I might as well do something extra that's creative with them. But when I started getting 100 subscribers and more, they really got interested and say, hey, like this is really cool what you're doing. The reviews themselves, I don't know how much they really care about them.
They mostly cared about our live scenes.
Yeah.
They just like seeing us goof around.
Yeah.
Making videos.
And I think it got to the point where I would only show them the final review if there was a live scene in it. Mm-hmm. If it was just straight gameplay with no live scenes, I don't think they really cared.
Yeah, they don't really play games besides like very few, very select. Like our dad likes Guitar Hero and Myst. Our mom also likes Myst and like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and that's pretty much it.
Yep. Well, mom plays a lot of word games too on her phone.
Yeah.
So I mean, we do too, but that's about it.
They are not gamers.
No.
Very much.
Oh, I hope I say your name right. Lot Jansen says, I won't spoil it, but there is indeed a live scene.
Oh.
I can't remember my own live
I
scene.
feel like this. It's like we do like a fake Dragon Ball Z fight, but I don't remember what it is.
Okay.
Like you know.
I
something
don't.
Stupid.
Okay. I have a decent editing software and still don't know how to color correct. How color correct works. Reaper Rin. When I say color correct, I'm just talking about white balancing. If you don't have a camera that has white balance capabilities, your editor, depending on how powerful it is, it might have an artificial white balance as well, and that can help correct the blue tint from fluorescent lights.
You have a. Well, you used to have a video that like explained how you did that.
It was at the end of one of my reviews. I was showing you
Oh yeah.
how color correct works.
Yeah. The white balance.
Yeah, white balance. Yes. Okay. Let's get on to the next
It's a
review.
behind the scenes thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's time for the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 review for the Wii. That has got to be the longest title for a game I've ever played. Are there any other games that are longer?
Okay.
Let me start off by saying
Hold
I'm
on.
a huge...
When I said, are there any other games that are longer? That was like a half joke that you can't tell that I'm joking because I know there are longer ones. So I got so many comments. They're saying this isn't a long name for a game or anything. I got so many others. I think some of them were like Final Fantasy or some like Japanese anime games that have super long titles. And it was like, I know this was kind of a half joke kind of thing.
Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT fan.
That's just the internet.
Well, GT wasn't the best, but I still enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
The only DBZ games I have played in the past were Budokai 2, Budokai 3, The Legacy of Goku, DBZ Sagas, ugh, garbage, and Budokai Tenkaichi 1. Sagas was just embarrassing, and the control scheme for Tenkaichi 1 for the PS2 was so different from Budokai 3 that I couldn't even pass the first tutorial. I know, sad. I just couldn't get used to it. So with that said, I was very skeptical at playing Tenkaichi 3. Since it was for the Wii, I thought the controls would be even worse. But thankfully, they were not. I heard that Tenkaichi 2 had horrible controls, but I don't know since I've never played it. If you've never played this game, or any other DBZ game, or aren't even a fan of the anime or manga, this game might seem a bit weird to you. You start out by choosing the game mode you wish to play. For those of you who don't know a thing about this game, I highly, highly recommend you start with a tutorial. Trust me, with any controller you pick, you will need the tutorial if you want to succeed. The tutorial, depending on how long you can get used to the controls, will take at least 30 minutes. It took me about an hour with the Wiimote nunchuck combo, and I still had a little trouble. Once you finally get used to the controls, you will want to start the main section of the game, Dragon History. In this mode, you will go through most of the battles of the DBZ storyline. Now, what I've heard and read, Tenkaichi 2 had more story, but less battles, while Tenkaichi 3 was the other way around. Back to the controls again.
Really cool.
If you use the GameCube
so
or Classic
fun.
controller, your gaming experience will be mediocre at best, in my opinion. If you want to have some real fun, you will want to use the Wiimote nunchuck combo. The controls are very precise, and you will really feel you are a part of the game because of the way you unleash your attacks. Instead of pressing buttons for a Kamehameha, you have to put your two hands together
there is a live
and
scene
launch
in
them
here.
out in front
It's
of
not
you,
a skit,
just like in
though.
the story. You'll have to do
Oh, I
other
know.
hand motions
It's just
for
me
your
showing
other
the
powerful
controls.
attacks, which most of them work perfectly. The only hand motion I found to be off was the one where you have to raise your hands in the air, like this.
I think I'm trying to do a spirit bomb there.
Wrong one. The graphics are awesome. When it comes to Dragon Ball Z, you don't want the game to be as realistic as possible. Colorful cartoon anime is the best style for DBZ. It really makes the game more enjoyable.
I don't know why they would do anything
The
different.
voice acting is terrific. All of the main stars from Funimation are in the game, which is great. It would have really sucked if they had impersonators. Well, then again, why would they have impersonators? I'm just saying, it wouldn't have been the same without Goku's or Vegeta's real Funimation voices.
I don't want to give Majin Buu any energy. I'm going to end this quickly with my full power. I look forward to it. Let's see the fruits of your training in Otherworld.
There are over 150 characters.
I think. Hold on. I want to.
Over one?
Oh, I'll go. I'll go back.
Yeah.
That was a bad time to pause. No, I think why I said it's good that they had the original voices is because sometimes there will be games based off of like movies or other kind of media where the voice actor won't be the same as
Yeah.
the original source.
Yeah, because sometimes the original voice actor is like way too expensive to
Yeah.
hire.
So I didn't want that, but I'm glad I said why would they have, impersonators or whatever.
It's kind of weird for like an anime game like this because usually anime games or something similar will always have like the original dub voice actors.
Right.
But yeah,
Look, most replayed is the
most
joke.
replayed is this joke. That's funny.
In other world.
There are over 150 characters. Wait, over 150? That's insane. I've never played a game with that many characters. I wonder how long it took to do the voices for all of them. There are tons of unlockable items which will help your character's attributes. And there's other game modes like Ultimate Battle, Tournaments, Duels, Practice, and the ability to play online. All of these modes are very fun. Except the online mode. Why? I never found a match. Now, I've said in past reviews that my internet connection sucks, and it does, but at least with all my other online capable games, I was able to play. But with Tenkaichi 3, I couldn't even try it out. I've heard that even if you can find a match, the lag is so bad. So, in a way, I'm kinda glad I wasn't able to play it. I bought this game for only $20, but I just don't understand one thing. If Tenkaichi 2 had bad controls
I know what the live
and
scene
received
is.
a lower rating on most of the gaming websites, why is it $10 more than Tenkaichi 3? Okay,
Oh.
over here.
See, you can barely hear it.
Oh yeah.
30 and under games. $30 and under. Look what's here. Tenkaichi 2, $30. Okay? Now over there. Come on, over here. Turn that way. That way.
Did you tell me to do that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
It was her sister.
We almost got in trouble for shooting in here. Because you're not supposed to film in Walmart.
This is a 20 and under. Look what's here. Tenkaichi 3, $20. What? I don't get it. Explain it to me. Oh well. This game is so amazing. Great controls, awesome graphics, fun, addicting competitive gameplay, terrific voice acting, and all for only $20. For any and all DBZ fans out there, this game will definitely not disappoint. And for anyone who just enjoys a great fighter, you will also enjoy this game. This game gets an
Over 9,000!
Oh my god, I forgot I did that.
I mean, this game gets a 4.25 out of 5 with the title of Awesome.
Whew.
Man, like I was never any good at that game, but it was like really fun to watch you play because it's just it really feels like you're playing an anime. It's really cool.
Yep. Yeah. I still have it. I should play it again. Some people have said that you pronounce Kamehameha as Kamehameha, but I've always found it you pronounce it like that when you are saying the name of it to somebody, but when you use it as an attack, you do Kamehameha. And if you're supposed to say it like Kamehameha, why don't the voice actors do that?
I think in the voice actors, they say the Kamehameha.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you really are supposed to say Kamehameha as an attack...
I don't think they say Kamehameha in the anime. They say the Kamehameha attack.
I know. I'm saying if you're supposed to say it as Kamehameha, why don't the voice actors do that? Why doesn't the director tell them to say it like that? And actually, in the Ocean dub version of Dragon Ball Z, there's one episode where, or maybe two, where Gohan uses it and he says Kamehameha, not Kamehameha.
Like while he's saying it as an attack?
Yes.
Oh. Oh yeah, yeah. It doesn't sound good. Like Kamehameha. Like that sounds really lame.
Am I excited for Tenkaichi 4? Yes. That looks awesome. Uploading these reviews must have been a pain with the dinosaur rural internet. Oh my goodness, yes it was.
Well, do you want to tell them like where we were at the time? Because it was so long ago. Like I don't
No, I'm good. It was just very rural, and I would not upload the videos with our home internet. I would go to his school, or I would go to my community college that was 30 minutes away to upload them. Because if I tried to use our home internet, I'm not joking, sometimes it would take 12 hours or more to upload a little 5-minute 480p video. It was awful. And I can't believe we were actually able to play online matches of Mario Kart Wii at the time.
Yeah, the online back then was really good. I mean, there was a lot of like other players like skipping ahead or whatever, but it was pretty playable back then.
Yep. All right, Zero Gravity. Here we go.
It's time for the Sonic Riders Zero Gravity review for the Wii. Zero Gravity is the sequel to Sonic Riders, which I enjoyed. The story starts out with 5 meteorites crashing onto Earth, or Mobius, or wherever. Tails finds one of them, and now the gang is trying to figure out what it is. They are soon attacked by robots for some reason, and they try to escape. Tails blasts through a wall, and Sonic plummets downward, while Tails and Knuckles hover above. Sonic somehow uses the meteorite's power to hover as well, and so your journey begins. Sonic Riders is a racer on hoverboards. You'd think Sonic would just use his legs and run at the speed of sound, instead of using a hoverboard which only goes around 250 miles an hour. But oh well. The story is kinda stupid. You have to recover 5 meteorites called the Ark of the Cosmos that robots and the Babylon Rogues are trying to collect as well. I won't go in depth with it too much, for those of you who are just dying to play this game. What makes Zero Gravity different from the original Sonic Riders is the Zero Gravity. The meteorites that you are collecting have the ability to reverse gravity around you, and also make you fly around at fast speeds for a limited amount of time. This can make the game more fun to play, but might make it a bit complex for younger players. Once again, Sonic Team delivers a colorful scenery. The graphics are great. I've never played a Sonic game where the graphics were bland and boring, but with Sonic Team, it's the controls that I'm worried about. The original Sonic Riders had well-balanced controls, but did Zero Gravity? They were about the same, maybe a little bit harder, but not really noticeable. There are 3 different ways you can control. You can play with the Wiimote at its horizontal position, you can hold it vertically, or if you just hate the motion controls, they even slip in the GameCube controller. I looked on the back of the Zero Gravity box, and the only control scheme it says it supports is just the Wiimote alone. Maybe Sega's trying to hide the GameCube controller and trying to promote the motion controls. Amazingly enough, I liked using the Wiimote on its side. It took some getting used to, but it wasn't really that difficult. The only problem I have with it is, both the motion controls and the directional pad are active simultaneously, and because of this, if you are not careful while using the directional pad, you can get screwed up. If you use the GameCube controller, it'll be just like any other game. I recommend using the Wiimote on its side. I do not recommend using the Wiimote vertically. You have to point the Wiimote at the screen. You can use the directional pad or tilt the Wiimote to the left and right to steer. If you do this, there will be a target on the screen representing where you are pointing. This can be very annoying, especially if you are playing multiplayer, because since there is already a lot of data on your screen, adding a target will decrease your viewing window. So be warned. Just like using it horizontally, the motion controls and the directional pad are in effect at the same time. I played one race using the Wiimote vertically and received last place, because steering this way was just like Nintendo's 2008 E3 press conference. Complete garbage! In addition to the main storyline, there are also missions where you have to complete certain tasks. If you can beat them, you'll receive new equipment to new characters. Some of the missions can be very difficult, so advanced players will enjoy the challenge. There are 16 levels in this game, just like the original Sonic Riders. It may sound like a lot, but it's really not. At least with Zero Gravity, Sonic Team made the levels longer than the original Sonic Riders. I don't know if that was due to the fact that the GameCube disc was smaller than... wait. Sonic Riders was also for the PS2, the Xbox, and the PC. Maybe it was just laziness. Whatever the reason, increasing the level length was a smart move. Good job, Sega. Now, if you could just leave the morals out of Sonic games, life would be grand.
Oh, I know.
With Zero Gravity, you can now play online. No, not actual matches like Mario Kart, but you can download Ghosts to race. Still, it would have been more fun if you could compete in real races online. There's also a battle mode. I have to say, it looks like Sega was trying to copy Mario Kart. It has some differences, but still. It really wasn't that fun either. It was hard trying to hit someone, and the target system was kind of off. Sonic Riders Zero Gravity is a great game. Its awesome graphics, well-balanced controls, excluding the vertical Wiimote style, and the new Zero Gravity Edition make this game a pleasure to play. The only downsides are the limited amount of levels, shallow online gameplay, the battle mode, and a short story. But overall, it's still very fun to play. This game gets a 3.5 out of 5 with the title of good.
That's your ending.
I don't know why. I might have had something better. I don't know.
So, when you talk
It's
about
time for the Donkey
leaps and
Kong
rolls
Barrel
of
Blast review.
Sonic games, that reminds me. I know the reason why you say that is because it goes back to like Sonic Heroes. Something you guys may not know. The whole reason why we do he does the whole hooray for teamwork thing. It's because of that game. It's because we thought that like the end of the game, Sonic is like, we can defeat him with the power of teamwork. We thought that was like super lame and corny, and that's why. So whenever we say hooray for teamwork, it's in reference to that. And I don't remember other games, but there were apparently other games where we thought, like the whole moral of the story was like, it's like on par with like, teamwork. The moral is teamwork, or the moral is like friendship or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you said, right?
Honestly, I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that's why.
I if it is, I mean, that sounds right. I just honestly don't remember why I did that, and then it just kind of became like an inside joke with the reviews.
Hooray for math. Yeah, see, hooray for math, that's derived from the hooray for teamwork from Sonic Heroes.
Yeah. Yep.
That game, it looks really cool, honestly. A lot of people kind of rag on the game, but it's actually pretty decently fun. And like when you start when you use the gravity mechanic, like the music, it has that like that cymbal crash, and like the music stops for momentarily, and the screen flashes with like opposite colors. And then like you have all these like environmental things like crashing into each other, and you're like flying through and like grinding on the objects that are floating. Like, I don't know, that game, it kind of looks cool, and I do remember it was pretty fun to play.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not as good as the first game, but
no, that's not bad.
It's got a really cool presentation.
A lot of spectacle.
Yeah, yep.
All right, Barrel Blast.
For the Wii. This has to be the most underrated game I have ever played. All of the gaming websites tell you to stay away from this game. Both GameSpot and IGN gave this game a 4.5 out of 10.
Old schools.
To them, I say,
GameSpot.
did you even play this game, or just give the box art a short glance? Are you freaking kidding me? GamePro gave this game the title of Worst Game of 2007? Have they even heard of Sonic and the Secret Rings? How about Carnival Games? What a bunch of bull.
I still haven't reviewed that.
I have to admit, I thought this game looked like crap because of what I've heard and read. So to Nintendo, I apologize. This game surprised me at how fun it really was. It may look like a Mario Kart clone, and in some aspects it is, but if you can get past that speed bump, you might be surprised as well. The game starts out at the main screen where it nudges you to play the tutorial first, and I'm glad it did. I suggest you start with it as well. The tutorial is not that long. It took about 5 to 10 minutes for me. Barrel Blast is like Mario Kart in the way that there is no story. You can use items to your advantage, and it's a racer. Although that last fact is just stupid if you're trying to diss the game. Oh, it's a racer just like Mario Kart. Therefore, it's total crap. You get 6 characters to start out with. 3 from the Kong family and 3 from the Kremling family. As you win your races, you will receive new characters for either the Kong or Kremling family, based on who you race with. So if you race with one of the Kong characters, you will receive more Kong characters, and vice versa. As you start to race, you will notice that the game sorta, kinda plays on rails. Well, not really, but the tracks have boundaries and will lead you on where you need to go. I actually like this feature, because you really can't tell where the track is at times. Barrel Blast uses rocket-propelled barrels that are strapped onto your character to race with, and the controls are one of the biggest surprises that caught me off guard. They work really well. To have your character speed up to his or her max speed, you have to hit your barrels one after the other by simulating the motion of hitting them. To maneuver left and right, either punch down with the Wiimote or nunchuck respectively. To jump, punch down with both the Wiimote and nunchuck at the same time. This is where the controls can be annoying. If you're trying to speed up in a rush, sometimes the sensors will not read it correctly and your character will jump instead of try to speed up. Now wait a minute. I want to know who invented these barrels.
I like this live skit.
Seriously, you have rocket-propelled barrels that allow you to fly, and the way to interact with them is by hitting them? Other important things don't work like that.
Our old CRT monitor. Old piece of crap Mazda.
Oh, come on! No! Oh, why? That's alright, Coach. We're getting killed out there. I can't do it.
Now you listen here. You go out there, do your job, and make a touchdown. Am I clear?
Yes, sir!
Okay, maybe they do. The graphics are not the best. Nintendo did
If I had the resources to make that better, I would have shown like a graphic showing that the score was like 63-0 or something.
Yeah, or maybe like a sound effect of a crowd cheering.
Yeah, and then after you hit my head, like we win the game like 1,000 to 63 or something like that.
My acting was so bad, but it's still pretty.
Dude, you were like what, 13?
Yeah.
a good job of coloring up the place, but it seemed like they didn't take the time to put too much detail into it. Maybe they were rushing it. The graphics look better than the Nintendo 64, but not as good as the GameCube. It's like it was meant for a console in between those two. The N60Q. Wow, that was lame. The sense of speed in this game is okay. Not the greatest, but not the worst. I think they could have sped it up just a bit. Maybe this game was intended for younger audiences, so they could build up their confidence and start to play Mario Kart. There are also missions you can play,
That's a
and by
reach.
completing them,
Yeah.
you will be rewarded with new characters. There's also time trials, where you can race yourself or your friends to see who can receive the fastest time. Single race, where you can just do a quick race and not the whole Grand Prix. And free race, where you have unlimited laps so you can practice on those harder tracks. Donkey Kong Barrel Blast is a surprisingly good game. The controls are very well balanced and easy, the gameplay is fun, and that Donkey Kong charm is everywhere. The only downsides were the graphics were outdated, even for the Wii, and there is no online mode. But overall, this game was a nice surprise. This game gets a 3.25 out of 5 with the title of good.
Did you get a lot of backlash for that review?
No. Actually, no. And as far as the graphics go, I think I still stand by it. It looks a little rushed. Like there could have been, like especially in the background, the textures were just not up to par. But it's all right.
Well, you said it's between N64 and
GameCube.
That's pretty much just like what a Dreamcast would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was up to date. That was my favorite live skit to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the other ones before, if there was supposed to be a joke in the live skit, they were really short, like the Count Bleck, and then a bunch of the other live scenes we did were not jokes. It was just
it's like you showing controls not working.
Yeah, or just talking to you on camera, whatever. But this was like the first long joke that we did.
It's actually really that scene was good because it had like a good set. It's like a three section joke. It's like hit the TV, it works. Hit the car, it works. And then you have this long one.
You don't know where it's going.
Yeah, you don't know where it's going. Then you hit
Hit the player.
Yeah, hit the player, and then he works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a good structure.
Mario Game Freak, do you know this game which was made for the DK bongos? Yes, I did not have them at the time, though.
It was originally made for that?
Yeah.
Could you use those?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
Yeah, definitely. That was the whole point.
Was it like advertised?
I don't know how you would... How would you steer, though?
That's a good question.
Huh.
Maybe, well, let's see. It was originally made for the GameCube. Okay. So maybe, like, they were originally doing that, and then maybe, like, partway through,
Like,
they
go
found,
to
like,
the Wii.
some, they found, like, some complications with the controls, and then
Well,
they
no.
just moved on to the Wii.
I think the Wii was about to come out, and I think Donkey Kong Barrel Blast was a launch title. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Somebody asked who turned on the TV in the car. The TV was... Oh, both of them. It was my mom
Yeah.
who turned on both. So that was fun.
What
my-
was on the TV, by the way?
I don't know. It looked like a soap opera or something. Well, like what was showing on the
Yeah.
TV? Yeah, it was some kind of soap opera thing. My parents would rarely ever help with live scenes, but when they did, I think they did pretty well. Here we go, Star Wars.
It's time for
I
the
love this
Star
one.
Wars, the Force Unleashed
The live
review
skit?
for the Wii.
Yeah.
I love the
This is
live
my
skits.
first requested game, requested by 100RY1000. Thank you.
I wonder if
Let me
he's-
start
is
off
he
by
still
saying
subscribed?
I love the
I don't
Star
know.
Wars movies, but for some reason I've never really been into the games that much. The last Star Wars game I played was Lego Star Wars, but the last real Star Wars game was Jedi Knight 2 for the GameCube. I didn't care for it too much, because I think I just couldn't get used to the controls. Oh, and I remember the game would get so dark in some areas, it was almost impossible for you to see anything but your lightsaber. But
That's
enough about
probably
that.
because your TV
This game is
was
set
Yeah,
in
the
between
TV
the third
was
and fourth
too
Star
dark.
Wars
I
episodes.
remember,
The story starts out with Darth Vader and a
my
fleet of
sister and
storm.
I, we would we played this Neopets game for the PS2, and we played it on your little TV, and we got to a point where it was like this dark forest area, and it was just impossible to see anything on that TV, and then like we couldn't play it at all, and then we sold it, and then like a couple days after we sold it, we realized, oh, we can actually adjust the brightness on the TV.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that was sad. It was a really fun game too.
yeah. I need to replay Jedi Knight 2, because I had the same problem. It was just too dark to see anything.
Was it fun?
Well, I played it, 20 years ago? So I can't remember. And what I do remember was being frustrated because I couldn't see anything.
Did you rent it or did you play it at like, a
I
friend's house?
rented it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers landing on planet Kashyyyk. I think I'm saying that right. So now you begin. You start out as Darth Vader. Awesome. And are searching for any and all Jedi who are still alive. This part of the game is pretty much the tutorial.
See,
but
I
you're still playing
I
the main
spoil
game.
the story
There
here.
is a tutorial on the main title screen, but the beginning of the game is really easy, so it's very unlikely you will die. As you make your way through, you will come upon the Jedi you have been searching for, and you will fight him. After you win, you find out the Jedi had a son, and you take him with you. Your name is Starkiller, Vader's secret apprentice. He's a secret apprentice because the Emperor does not know of him. Vader sends Starkiller, you, to several different planets to defeat some remaining Jedi as your final test, before you can become powerful enough to assassinate the Emperor, but that's as far as I will go into the story. The controls are bittersweet. Bitter because the majority of
Secret
your moves can
Apprentice.
be difficult and frustrating.
Oh.
Sweet because once you finally do master the moves, it can be very fun to pull them off. To swing your lightsaber, swing your Wii remote. Not hard at all, but you might want to take a couple Advil before you start, because since the Wiimote Nunchuck combo is the only control scheme the game supports, you will be swinging your wrists a lot. The graphics are okay, good at best. They look like they were made for the GameCube. I know the Wii has been called the GameCube 1.5, but still, I think they could have worked on the detail a little more. Like I said with Jedi Outcast 2, in some areas the game could get very dark, and it would be difficult to see. But fortunately, there is an option where you can increase the brightness of the game.
Oh.
I wish I had seen that sooner. I didn't notice it until after I beat the game. The Force Unleashed reminded me a lot of Fable, because when you defeat an enemy, there are experience orbs that fly to you. You buy new powers with your experience. Some of the powers were similar to the powers in Fable, and even one of the voice actors sounded like Maze from Fable. A nice feature in this game was if you gathered enough experience points, you could purchase or upgrade any of your powers right in the middle of the game. You didn't have to go back or wait until you're in your ship to make a transaction. There are many force powers you can purchase and upgrade. Some of the moves might take a bit to remember and master because of the sensitivity in the Wiimote and Nunchuck. You can customize your character's outfit, your lightsaber color, and your lightsaber power. I enjoyed the many different colors of your lightsaber, but I thought it would have been interesting if the AI around you would get confused by what color your lightsaber was.
Oh, yeah.
This is so fun.
Yeah, I love this. It was so hot back then.
Yeah.
You will never defeat me. You will join the dark side. I'll never. Well, wait. Why do you have a green lightsaber?
Why do you have a red one?
Well, it was the only one on sale. What
On
about you?
sale.
Well, my grandma got me this. I told her I was a Sith, but she thinks I'm a Jedi for some reason. You know how grandmas are.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Want to trade?
Sure.
Nice. I like that.
Now, what were we doing again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
There are many cubes throughout the game you can collect, which
So
contain pictures of
so
numerous
fun.
items or characters that are related
Only
to the
thing
Star Wars
was,
universe.
I wish I had a different
There's
microphone.
also
yeah.
a duel mode, where you and another player can duke it out with your choice of many Jedis and Sith. It would have been nice if some of the arenas were a bit larger, but it was still pretty fun. There is no online mode, which I found surprising and disappointing. The voice acting is great, although I'm not sure if Starkiller's voice was the best pick for him. It just seemed a bit too soft, but everyone else's was terrific. I couldn't believe it when I found out that James Earl Jones did not do the voice of Darth Vader. It sounded just like him. It's the best impersonation I've ever heard.
You were weak when I found you. Now your hatred has become your strength.
That's pretty good.
At last, the dark side is your ally.
Oh, I almost forgot to mention a really cool feature in this game. With any mini-boss or boss you're fighting, sometimes your character will go into an automatic fight mode where you either have to shake the Wiimote or Nunchuck at the correct times. If you can do each sequence correctly, your enemy will go down in health significantly. Plus, it's really cool to watch.
Automatic fight mode.
Quick time event.
I did not know that it was called Quick Time Event. I had never heard of that
Star
before.
Wars: The Force Unleashed is a great game. It has a good storyline,
I didn't know how else to
awesome
describe
voice
it.
acting,
Yeah.
and the Force powers are very fun to pull off. The only downsides that I found were the controls could have been a little more precise. The graphics looked a bit old, there's no online mode, and the game was kind of short. But overall, it's still quite entertaining. For any and all Star Wars fans, you will feel right at home with this game. This game gets a 3.5 out of 5 with the title of good.
I want to see the comments.
Mm-hmm. Neopets are
Yeah, The Darkest Fairy. Yeah. It was really fun. My sister and I, we were like super into that game until that point. Yeah. Do you know how many takes we did? Or like
man, no. This was like what, 14 years ago?
I just remember that was like a really hot summer day, and we were both in these dark robes.
Yeah.
So it was like scorching.
I thought it was so cool. The robe I was wearing that I still have, it has a huge like dragon impression on the back, and it's all black. And I was like, this looks perfect for like playing a Sith.
Mm-hmm.
And you had more of like what Obi-Wan wears,
Yeah,
but it was a regular
It was
bathrobe.
blue, yeah.
That was
I mean,
blue.
if it was like a tan color,
Yeah, that
or
would have been
something,
better.
Yeah, but it was like plain, so yeah, it would fit a Jedi more.
Yeah, but it was so fun to make. We've had those lightsabers for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and it just turned out really well because I think that was the second. The first the first live skit we did where I needed to basically storyboard the shots was Count Bleck. I mean, there's only 2 scenes really, or 2 shot. There's 3 shots, but when Espeon asks, you know, have you come up with a name for the bad guy yet? You're like, no, I don't know. And you can see me, I'm about to take a bite, and in the next shot, I take the bite from a different angle. So, I mean, that's super, super simple storyboarding edit right there. But this one was way more complex and bigger. And she was the one who held the camera, right?
I thought it was Mom.
Really?
I don't remember if it was our sister or our mom.
I think it was our sister. Anyway, it was so much fun. When will the stream end? I don't know. I mean, I'm having fun with it.
I'm getting kind of hungry, to be honest.
We've gone an hour and 45. Well, you can starve to death because we're gonna continue. Here we go.
It's time for the Wii Play review for the, well, duh, Wii. $50? This game is $50? Ha, just kidding. Don't get confused by the price tag. Wii Play is not $50, nor is it anywhere in the vicinity of being worth $50, or $40, or $30, or $20, but maybe $10. So why is it so high up on the sale charts? Because the game comes bundled with a Wiimote, and that's why it's $50 at your local GameStop. So let's start. There are 9 games in all, which the majority are either boring, bad, or both.
Yeah,
and to save time, I will just say that for every game...
Back then, we made so many Miis of, like, so many different people, and, like, celebrities, and we have Jesus, we have our family, those are all 4 of our cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made, like, the whole cast of Seinfeld, we made all the Pikmin colors. What else? Who else did we make? We made... our other family members, we made, like, we made some of the people in our school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, making those Miis was really fun.
There are 9 games in all, which the majority are either boring, bad, or both. And to save time, I will just say that for every game, you will use the Wiimote for all of them. The first one is Shooting Range. This game is okay. It's pretty much Duck Hunt with a few extras. You'll shoot down ducks to UFOs. Your goal is to hit as many targets as you can before the level is over. It's not hard at all. Just point and hit the B button to fire. The game can be more fun if you're playing multiplayer, where you have to shoot more targets than your friend. The second game is Find Me. The title says it all. Find the certain me in the crowd. This game, in my opinion, is just boring. The game will become more advanced as you complete each level, from spotting the 2 similar Miis to finding the fastest Mii.
Oh, okay.
The third game is Table Tennis. Now, like me, you might think that the game is supposed to be a real ping pong match against the computer, but it's not. You're supposed to rally the ball back and forth as much as you can, but if you're playing multiplayer, then it is a real ping pong match. This is the one game I did not enjoy playing multiplayer, because there's hardly any strategy to it. The motion sensors can either be over or under sensitive, and the depth perception is low. I suggest you play with the computer rallying the ball back and forth instead of multiplayer. The fourth game is Pose Me. This is a unique but boring game. Your Mii is in the middle of the screen, controlled by your Wiimote. As you hold your Mii, bubbles from the top of your screen will begin to fall, with silhouettes in the middle. The silhouettes are of 3 different poses your Mii can pull off. You have to align your Mii with each bubble with the correct pose. The game gets more challenging as more bubbles will fall at faster speeds. It may look fun and interesting, but it's only that for the first 10 seconds. The fifth game is Laser Hockey, or just Pong with neon lights. This game wasn't half bad though. I mean, everyone likes Pong, right? The controls can feel way oversensitive the first time you play. There is some strategy to this game. Instead of just an up and down line to bounce the puck back and forth, you can tilt it to give it an angled shot. So instead of Pong, it's now air hockey. The sixth game is Billiards. This game is pretty well done. The controls are good, and it can be quite fun to play. You point your Wiimote at the screen, hold down the B button, move back with the Wiimote, then launch the Wiimote forward to hit the balls. It's just like a real 9-ball game. The game will let you look at the whole table too.
No,
so you
no,
can set up your shot.
no, that's
You can
9-ball
even
though,
add a
that's
spin
okay.
Or bounce to the cue ball to make the game more realistic. The only thing I didn't care for was the point system in the multiplayer mode. Even though you have to hit the correct ball first, whichever ball you sink in after, that's how many points you get. So even if you hit more balls in the pockets, you can still lose.
That's
The
so
seventh
dumb.
game is Fishing. Oh my gosh, this game was so boring the first time, I literally had to quit after the first 5 seconds. I am not exaggerating. There is almost no color, the controls are a bit weird and sensitive, and the fish are paper cutouts. Wrong game. Go back to Paper Mario. Fishing is, well, fishing. That's all it is. They tried to squeeze in a little fun by having you try to catch bonus fish for extra points, but still, this is the worst game out of all of them. The 8th game is Charge! See the exclamation point right there? Okay, whatever. This one is the weirdest out of all the games. You have your Mii racing the clock on a cow, who charges forward on a path towards the barn. Along the way, you hit as many scarecrows as you can, but still keep a fast pace. The controls are not the best. You hold your Wiimote on its side and tilt it to the left and right to move in either direction. With multiplayer, your goal is to run over more scarecrows than your opponent. Run, Bessie! Move that udder! The 9th and last game is Tanks. This is the best game out of all of them. You're a little tank in an area with other tanks that you have to shoot down first. You can play this game with either the Wiimote Nunchuck combo or the Wiimote alone. I prefer the Wiimote Nunchuck combo. To attack with up to 5 missiles, tap the B button on the Wiimote. To set a mine, press the A button. To aim, point the Wiimote at the screen. Your missiles will not explode on the first wall they hit, but will bounce off to the next wall, or your opponent. This gives the game some strategy, and it's even more fun when you duel your friends. The game will award you with medals for however many points you can get. There's bronze, silver, gold, and if you're fantastic at this game, you can receive platinum medals. Ooh, ah. The medals don't really do anything. I guess they're just there for gloating purposes.
Come on, come on, come on. Yes! I got platinum in fishing. No!
There are only 2
I gotta
reasons you can
stop.
buy this.
So many people think I say no, and it's not what I say. I say so, like, ooh, you're such a hot shot. So what kind of thing. But the point is, like, I wish I was as good as he played. Yeah, the whole thing I was envious, not jealous, envious.
This game. 1, buy it for the Wiimote that comes with it. Then again, why not just buy the Wiimote alone and save yourself $10? Anyway, 2, if you want to play a game that even your grandma will understand, pick this up. You two will have loads of fun! Well, she will, because she'll be kicking your butt on fishing, because you'll be asleep with boredom. Wii Play is an okay game, but you'll still probably get bored after 10 minutes of play. If not for the fact that it comes with a Wiimote, and at least 4 out of the 9 games are decent, this game would have received a lower score. But because of those 2, this game gets a 2.5 out of 5 with the title of Bad. It's time for the...
This is Buster's debut.
It is. Oh, Buster, I miss him.
Yeah.
I want to see the comments. Scroll up.
Okay.
Yeah, Wii Play was more like a tech demo.
Uh-huh.
It's sort of in the same vein of Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought you were a bit harsh on this game, because some of the games are pretty fun. Like Tanks is like really, it's pretty good.
No, I'll stand by it. I remember we had, there was church members had like a family game night we went to, and
I was thinking about this,
they had Wii Play, and I think that was like the only game they had, and everyone was just so enthralled with it.
Yeah, it was so weird because they're like, hey, do you guys want to play the Wii? We have the cow game. You like the cow? You've heard of the cow game, right? And we had never played Wii Play before.
Yeah.
And we had a Wii. We had lots of games for it. And when they were talking about, you have your Mii and you're riding a cow. And we were like, what in the world is this? How did they know about a game, but we don't? We're the gamers. These are just like, we live in the middle of nowhere, so
a bunch of farmers.
Yeah, they were all farmers.
And of course they go to the cow game.
Yeah, of course. And so, but it's just like mind-boggling to me because, at the time, because they're like, this is a compilation of like 9 games, and you call it the cow game.
Yeah.
Because that's the only game they play.
Yep.
And it's like, why would you describe it to some other people as the cow game when there's like a whole bunch of other games? They're old. They're like rural people, so whatever.
No disrespect, but
But
they were
they're
just
they're very nice people.
very nice, but they were out of their element
Yeah.
talking to us about this kind of stuff. But it was still pretty fun.
Yeah. I remember playing the cow and tank minigame in Wii Play when I was a wee lad with my older brother as part of some local community gathering to help me be more social. Yeah, I mean, yeah, back then the Wii was like so huge.
Mhm.
They had it in all the senior citizen, what are they called? The old folks homes.
Oh,
You know?
assisted living centers?
Yeah. We Play Motion. Did we ever play that?
We Play Motion? No. Indigo Blue, you should have said wee lad. You should have spelled it W-I-I.
Yeah, W-I-I for wee lad.
Okay. Wii Fit. Here is Buster's debut.
Wii Fit review for the Wii. You ready for a hardcore workout? Well, you might want to go to the gym, because Wii Fit will give you a sweat, but if you're looking to die, this game will not kill you. Wii Fit is an
I'm looking to
exercising
die.
program built for the Wii. You start out by loading your Mii into the Wii Fit Plaza. As you go through, you will meet an animated version of the Wii balance board, who will welcome you, give you the 411, and will measure your weight and BMI, or body mass index. What the? That's way too high! What's going on?
There he
Oh,
is.
Buster, get off of there. Anyway, after the
It
game
took you a
insults
long
your
time
weight,
to get
it will
into-
give you
to
2
stay
balance
there for a
tests
while,
every
I
day
remember that.
as part
Yeah.
of your daily test. You don't have to take the daily test, but it doesn't take very long, so why not? Once you complete the beginning, the game will give you your Wii Fit age. I don't trust these results, because the first day I did Wii Fit, I was 42 years old. Then the second day, I went down to 23. It bases your age from your weight and BMI, the 2 balance tests in the beginning, and your real age, so I don't trust it. So now the real workout begins. You have 4 categories to pick from. There's yoga, strength training, aerobics, and balance games. There's actually 5 categories, but the last one is just favorites, where, well, it holds your favorite activities. So let's start with yoga. There are 15 exercises you can do. If you think yoga is a sissy workout, let's see you do it. I myself thought it looked too easy to be a workout, but boy was I wrong. It's a lot harder than you think, especially some of these poses. Look at that! The yoga section focuses on stretching more than anything, and will prepare you for the other categories. With strength training, this is where you will get your sweat going. From push-ups to lunges, these exercises will burn calories. Although I'm not sure about the tricep extension, it just looks too easy.
What are you kidding me? The Wiimote? This is gonna be easy.
Oh yeah.
Hey, good job. Keep it up.
Well, maybe not.
I will say, I remember that day, our grandmother was visiting,
Oh, that's right.
and I had to find a window of opportunity to do that shot. And I remember I told Mom, like, take her outside for just like 3 minutes so we can do this shot, because I don't know.
Grandma's very old-fashioned, and it would have just been a pain to like just to explain what we were doing.
Yeah, and it was a super simple shot, and I just wanted to get it over with. But I remember she was there that day.
Along with regular exercises and strength training, you can also challenge your trainer. It's pretty easy at first, but will definitely become harder as you continue to challenge them. On to aerobics. Here, you might get a sweat going, but not like you would in strength training. These activities use your Mii as an avatar, and will either copy the motions you're doing on the balance board, or will show you what you need to do. All of the aerobics are fun and can be challenging, except for running.
Oh, I
This
like
is the
that.
worst
That one
minigame,
is
because
fun.
you're supposed to run in place, which doesn't give you the full effect of running for real, and you're supposed to put the Wiimote in your pocket, or strapped to your wrist.
Look, it's
The problem
Woohoo
with
Island
that is
before
the
it was a
sensors on
thing.
the Wiimote
Yeah,
are
this was
way
the
too
first,
over and undersensitive. So if you want to
of
run,
Woohoo
just go outside. The last category is balance games. These are a bunch of games that try to
haven't
help you
watched
with
this review
improving your
in
overall
ages.
balance. Most of them are quite fun to play.
Me too.
They're not too hard, yet not too easy, so you will be challenged. The hardest minigame out of the bunch is the one called Lotus Focus. To play this game, you have to sit on the balance board for as long as you can, without moving a molecule. Seriously,
Oh.
don't move.
I like
The
that.
slightest movement will be picked up by the sensors, and you will lose the game. It's so hard, I don't know how anyone can beat it. There is one more minigame that is not in the categories. Click on the balance board and it will give you the ultimate balance test, where you have to distribute your weight 50-50 on both legs. This one, in my opinion, is the second hardest
That one
game.
was hard,
Others
yeah, I
may
remember.
disagree, but I still say Lotus Focus is the hardest. To keep track of how long you have been using Wii Fit, you get a piggy bank. For however long you do an exercise, time coins will be dropped into the pig. You can keep track of your weight loss or gain too. Click on the graph to check it out. You can also edit your profile, change the design layout, choose the trainer you want to work with, and delete your profile. Wii Fit is a good game, and a good workout program as well. All the exercises worked pretty well with the balance board, and the game did give me a
I
good
like that
sweat.
game.
The only thing I didn't like about it was the price tag. $90? That's just too high. Fortunately, I bought mine on sale for $80. Well, that's still pretty high as well.
Well, that
Overall, this game is good for
That comes
people
with
who
the
want a
board.
good workout
Yeah.
without going to the gym. This game gets a 3 out of 5 with the title of good.
Still, that's pretty expensive for the balance board.
yeah.
Nowadays, though, you can probably find them a dime a dozen, right?
Oh yeah. I still have the original in the closet right over there. Somebody said. Where is it? Oh, is your pet cat Buster still alive? Unfortunately, no.
Most likely not. I mean, he was maybe like 5. How old was he? He was probably like 3 years old when we. No. Wait. Oh, I remember. Yeah, you can explain it.
Well, I'm just saying. We think he got out of the house one night. Maybe the door was cracked open. He went out, and beyond the backyard is a large forest, and we've heard coyotes before, and I think there's been instances of maybe possible like cougars or puma, and he never came back.
He was pretty old. Like the inside of the fence has like these horizontal beams that it was easy for him to climb up, but on the other side of the fence there isn't. There aren't those beams. So it's like a 6-foot fence, and he was way too old and fat to make that jump. Yeah, it's really tragic. We really shouldn't have let him outside at all, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah. So he will forever be missed, but he will live on in these videos.
Yep. He was a good cat. We gave him a very long and happy life.
Yeah. He was very spoiled, but he was such a good boy. Very affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, we've been streaming for a little over 2 hours now. I don't know about you guys. I'm okay to keep going, but if you guys want to save this for later, we can do that. I know you're starving, but there's a little bit of lag between when I actually say something and you guys actually hear it, and then I see it on your comments. But so I'll wait a second or so. But overall, I mean, it seems you guys like this. We've had an average of about 25 viewers in the stream, and I know it's not huge or anything, but that's big for me, for somebody who doesn't regularly stream. So okay, well, most are okay to keep going.
We can do one more, I think.
One more, okay. All right, we'll do one more, and we'll see about going further.
Yeah, this is a short one anyway.
It's time for the Link's Crossbow training review for the Wii. Now I know this is more of a mini-game than anything else, but I believe it deserves a review as well. Link's Crossbow Training is a game that is just trying to sell the Wii Zapper. What this is a plastic shell just like the Wii Wheel, only you combine both the Wiimote and the nunchuck with it. This gives you the feel of holding a crossbow. Now, some people say the Wii Zapper is just a piece of garbage. I'm looking in your direction, Wii viewer. No disrespect, of course, but I don't know why you or other people say they don't care for it. I do like it. I don't see any flaws. Now to the game. You are Link, hero of Hyrule. If you didn't already know who Link was, shame on you. Instead of using a regular bow, Link is using a crossbow, thus the Wii Zapper.
Yeah.
You start out by choosing your Mii to represent your score. There are 9 levels in all, with 3 stages in each level, so there are 27 stages. Hooray for math!
There it is.
The game is set in different areas from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. If you've played Twilight Princess, you will know all of the places. If you haven't, don't worry, you don't need to know where you are, just make sure you hit your targets. Each stage is timed, and the object is to shoot down as many targets as you can to earn points. Consecutive shots will earn more points. Plus, instead of just targets, you can also shoot down other items that may contain bonuses that will give you extra points. To receive the most points, shoot down the targets in the middle. If you can hit most to all your targets consecutively, you can get huge high scores. Oh yeah, check that out. There are 3 types of game modes. There's target shooting, where the game will automatically guide you where you need to go to shoot down your targets. There's Defender, where you have a third-person view of Link. You can't move anywhere, just in a circle, where waves of enemies will try to attack you. Then there's Ranger, where you have complete control over Link using the control stick and the nunchuck. You'll have to walk around to shoot down your enemies. All of them are fun to play, but my favorite is target shooting. Just like in Wii Play, the game will award you with medals, depending on how many points you get. There's bronze, silver, gold, and yes, platinum. And, just like in Wii Play, the medals are only there for gloating purposes. The graphics look amazing. The quality is just as good as Twilight Princess. No complaints in this category. The controls are good and precise, whether you're using the Wii Zapper or not. There is an option to test and adjust the settings for the controls to make them either more or less sensitive. Back to the Wii Zapper though. You don't have to use it. You can play the game just holding the Wiimote and nunchuck in each hand. Everyone has their own preference, but I like using the Wii Zapper. I tried the game without it, and I did a little worse than I would have using the Wii Zapper. Along with single-player mode, there's also multiplayer, where up to 4 players can play. Pick a level, then one by one, you and your friends will compete to see who can receive the highest score. There's also practice mode, where you can play a certain level, but not receive any points. The only downside I found with this game is that it's really short. It took me about an hour or 2 to receive all platinum medals, so it could have been longer. Link's Crossbow Training is a great game. For only $20, you can't go wrong. This game is fun, addicting, and beautiful. And plus, it comes with a peripheral. The only thing disappointing was the length of the game. But remember, the game is only $20. This game gets a 3.75 out of 5 with the title of Awesome.
Yeah, that game is underrated. I hear a lot of people just don't like it, but I don't know. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I like it. I did want to say, I feel like I should have reviewed Twilight Princess before this game, but I remember that this was such an easy review to do. I just wanted to get it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was something else I was gonna say, but I can't remember.
I thought there was like a live scene in that, or I mean, besides where you're showing off the zapper. But maybe I'm thinking of like another review of this game. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we're definitely over 2 hours now. I forgot I have to go into work for a little bit to take care of a few things, and Red is starving here, so I think we'll save this for later. The next one we'll start on is Sonic and the Black Knight. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun. I think Red had a lot of fun, and we'll continue to do this. I'm hoping once a week, maybe on Sundays, but it'll vary. But I'll make an announcement. If you guys like that little YouTube short announcement that I made for this, let me know, because I have never used YouTube Shorts before. I don't really know what I could do to utilize that platform, but I think it's okay for announcement videos for something like this. So anyway, I appreciate it. Hope you guys had fun.